Well, good morning, everyone. Emily's here. Actually, it is still morning, isn't it?
You know, I'm not really sure.
I hope it is. We haven't had lunch. Anyway, she's here. She's working on making a little baby blanket with some very stretchy, fuzzy, difficult fabric. It's our second try, but that's all right. Today it's going to happen. I also have a little sewing project going. So, whoop, just a second, Peter. Can you just stop for a sec? My kids, you know, they all have twin size beds or, you know, single beds. So they all like to just use a fitted sheet and then a blanket and no top sheet. So I have all these perfectly good top sheets that are left over, and all of the fitted sheets are wore out. I've been saving up the flat sheets thinking that I would make fitted sheets out of them. I had this idea because I've made fitted sheets for baby mattresses before, and now I'm holding a baby too, so it's going to get a little tricky here. Let me just see if I can show you guys. You want that, huh? Okay, we got baby attached to the camera here. So out of each of the four corners, this isn't going to work, is it, Colt? And when I've made the baby sheets, like little fitted flannel baby sheets, what I do is I take the big rectangle of fabric, that's the right size for that size mattress, and then I cut a square out. So these are all the squares that I cut out. Let's see if I can show this to you. And I just cut a square out. It's about probably a 12-inch square, and what I'm going to do is stitch these with the right sides together. I'll stitch it like this. I'll show you after I have that done, but anyways, you're stitching it like that. And then once this is stitched together, then I can put elastic around and put like elastic on all four corners and make it into a fitted sheet. This is actually the first time I've done it, and I'm talking to you about it before I've even have the project completed, so I'm hoping this is going to work. That's my thought. We'll see when Emily is done working on her blanket. I'm going to get to the sewing machine and work on this. I've done a couple corners now, and I have it figured out how it works best. So this is the seam where I cut out those squares. So I cut the squares that were around 10 to 12 inches out on each corner of the flat sheet, and then I just put a regular stitch, just a straight stitch, and then I just did a quick zigzag up the edge as well. You don't have to be perfect with this. This is going to be on the inside, and it's a sheet. And then I take a length of elastic. I pin the middle of the elastic at the seam, and then the amount of elastic, which I probably have about 18 inches of elastic here. And then what I do is I just stretch this elastic, and as far as it'll stretch, that's where I pin it. And now I'm going to zigzag stitch on this elastic and stitch it to the edge here, but I'm going to pull the elastic tight as it's going through the machine. Let me show you one that's done already. So this one is done already, and then you can see that once it's stitched and you pull it taut as it's stitching, once you release it, you know, the elastic goes back to its regular position, and then you have a nice cinched edge. And these are the corners where it's going to go around the corner of the mattress. And I actually went and measured this, and as long as all of my flat sheets are, you know, the same size, I'm going to be cutting an 11-inch, I think is what's going to be perfect, an 11-inch square out, and then just stitch it up like this. It works really well. I went and put these two corners onto the mattress, and it fit well, so that's what I'm going to keep doing. This one is all done, so you can see how it makes that corner. There it is. There's the corner that would go at the corner, you know, like up there at the corner of the mattress. And then this is what's going to go down the edge of that corner. And then this is going to wrap around to the bottom of the mattress and hold it in place. So I'm actually going to put this sheet, throw it over top of Joe's sheet here right now, just so I can try it out and give you guys a peek at what it actually looks like. I love it. I am so happy that I finally did this project. I have 2 more flat sheets to go. They're both flannel sheets, and it's not going to be that long before we're wanting flannel sheets. I have the sock monkey one done, and I had some scraps of this other thread, or sorry, not thread, but elastic. And this elastic it's a little different. It's like a nylon elastic or something. It was just a little bit different. Anyway, I like just what they call a woven elastic better. but that's okay. 3 sides of this is done with that, and 1 side is done with the traditional elastic I like. But I'm just getting this folded up. Gonna get this one put away. These are my little scraps here, so those are the squares that I cut out. Those are gonna be grease rags for Warren. I have 1 more to go here, but I'm gonna put this one aside for probably next week. I don't know, it could be next year. You know how that goes, right? And I'm gonna get into the kitchen because I really wanna do some baking. Joe just came in from outside. I think Maria is in, Peter. I sent them all outside for a while because they were like doing this super loud squealing, screaming thing. I'm like, you guys need to get outside. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna do some kitchen stuff right now. I don't know what though.
That's Miss Sam.
I might make some cinnamon swirl bread. I think that's what it's called. It's something I've been wanting to make. It's probably been on my menu for like 2 months now, and I'm gonna finally do that if I can find the recipe. This bread, I think I called it cinnamon swirl before. It's actually called swirled spice loaves. And so we have 2 cups of flour in here, 1 1/3 cups of sugar. There was 2 teaspoons of baking powder that I just put in there. And then Maria, we need 3/4 teaspoon of salt.
Is this about 3/4?
Oh gosh, no, that's probably more than a tablespoon. Here's 3/4 of a teaspoon. Just reach it in there. Perfect. Put that in there. Good. And now just use that, I think, and just stir it around. Into my KitchenAid over here, I'm going to put in 3 eggs and 1 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream.
Oops, I spilled a little bit.
Okay. We're gonna let it drain for a little bit. We're just gonna whip this. Maria's just gonna put all the dry ingredients in here, and then we're gonna give it a gentle stir until everything is just mixed. And as soon as it's just all wet, we're gonna turn that off. So what's gonna give these the swirled spice part is that we're gonna take 1 1/2 cups of this, and we're gonna put it back into this bowl, and then into this smaller amount here, what we're gonna do, Maria's gonna put in 2 tablespoons, nope, I'm gonna do the molasses, okay? How about if you put in 3 tablespoons of vanilla, which is really just a tablespoon. Did I say tablespoons? 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon. Nope, the big one, big tablespoon. And it's 2 tablespoons of molasses, so we are just going to...
The biggest one?
Yep, the biggest one. There's 1, and there's 2. 1 1/2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. You want to do that? Okay. Yep. Okay. And then 1 1/2 teaspoons, which is 2 of these.
It smells so good, but it tastes so horrible. What is with that?
And then 1 more just like that. So even though we're in the last few seconds here, like I said, of July, this is going to give us, I think, a definite fall flavor. Don't you, Maria? Molasses, it's going to be all those yummy fall scents. And
My favorite season is fall.
yeah, it's going to make the house smell delicious. And it's cool. It's only 76 today. So it's just a beautifully cool day. I'm going to get my oven set to 350. So now we have these 2 different batters. This one is flavored up with the molasses and the pumpkin pie spice, and this one is just plain. You're gonna have to stop crunching those cucumbers. I'm sure the microphone is picking that up. And then I'm just going to alternate these into the pan. So put a layer of plain, then with the seasoned, then with the plain, then with the seasoned, and we're just going to swirl it up. I just happen to have a little container of pumpkin pie spice mix, but I do normally make my own pumpkin pie spice mix. I usually like mine better because it has more cloves, and we really like that spiciness of cloves. I should do that sometime, do a video of like different spices and mixes that I keep on hand. That would be good to share with you guys. Run that through like that. Run this one through like that. And this is what they look like. And I'm gonna put these in the oven. As soon as my oven preheats to 350, I'll put these in for about 45 minutes. Now these pans are actually a little bit more of a 9x5, and the recipe calls for 8x4. So I better actually take 10 minutes off. I'm gonna actually check them at 35 minutes just because it's a shallower amount of batter. Well, apparently this bread is very, very good and something that kids like, because look at this. There was 2 loaves and there's the one that's left. But because what happened, I sprayed the pans and everything, just like I always do. I let the bread cool for 10 minutes when it came out of the oven, just the way I always do. I loosen the edges with a knife, just like I do, and then I shake it a few times to kind of loosen up the corners, and then I tip it over, and out comes the bread, and nope, not today. Not out comes the bread. Out came half the bread, and the rest of it stuck in here. So I just used this knife and scraped it all up, and look at that, one whole loaf is gone. This loaf came out better because after I did this first one and it was 10 minutes, then I waited another 5 minutes, and this one did come out a little bit better. But if I tip it over, let's see if I can tip it over without, it's a pretty tender loaf. Honestly, like I said, I mean, they love it. I feel like I need to do something different to this recipe though. There we go. Maybe I can tip it over like that. There we go. See? Even that one stuck. So number one, next time, it's extra greasing and flouring, I think, would help as well. And maybe that's it. Maybe it will end up being a make again if I just grease and flour it even better than this time. This is so good. You guys, it's so, so good. It's like...
I wish you made 400.
You want 400?
Yeah, I want 400.
They're very good. They're very...
Quadruple batch.
Yes. They're like just a very easy flavor. The molasses does not come through strong. The pumpkin pie seasoning does not come through strong, or the spice. Just good. So, all right, Maria's going to finish up that pan there. Peter, did you get things cleaned up?
Got my dip back.
Okay, well, I see a few things over there that are yours. I'm going to clear off the rest of the stuff on the island. That's mine. And yeah, tonight is the night.
I'm so excited.
What's happening?
I'm getting my kitty.
Kitty time, kitty time. And then the boys are going to a race. What kind of race?
Going to a stock car race with some of our friends.
Okay, that should be fun. Is this your kitty?
No.
No. It's cute though.
I'm so excited. I can't even. I found it. You're so cute. I'm glad I picked out this one because this one's so calm in my arms. The other ones, they try to wriggle out.
Uh-huh.
This one's just so calm.